Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome to a special Madden 26 video. Today I have done the unthinkable, the unimaginable. I have persuaded a college football team, not the players, but the assets, the program. I've persuaded them to come to the professional leagues, to the NFL. And we've made the Ohio State Buckeyes the greatest college football team in the world. The national champions, the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. They now play in the NFL because the Big Ten, college football as a whole, it's too easy. We've conquered that. National championships, Heisman Trophy winners, first round picks galore. The Buckeyes have done it all in college football. But the one thing they haven't done is go to the NFL. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, it's not the team, like it's not Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin and Caleb Downs and all the boys from the Buckeyes' current day team. It is the Ohio State Buckeyes in the NFL playing on this team. So you've got guys like C.J. Stroud and Ezekiel Elliott and Terry McLaurin and everybody that is in the NFL from Ohio State that's still in the game is on this team. And we're going to see if every Buckeye that's in the current NFL, put them on one team, if they could win a Super Bowl. I don't know how long this is going to be. It could be a few seasons. It could be 10 million seasons. I guess it just depends on when I get bored. So we'll see what happens if you go to enjoy it. And if you want to let me know down below in the comments what other team you think I should do, then let me know. But if you go to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe channel, and join the Juice Club. And let's go see if the Ohio State Buckeyes of the NFL can win a Super Bowl. So here we are. It is the 2025 regular season. And as you can see, the Ohio State Buckeyes are in Madden 26. Now, I downloaded this team from the team builder portion of the game, the download center or whatever. And it's okay. I took a look at the jerseys. They look fine. They're not perfect, but it's the best I could find. And obviously, the name is not correct. It says Ohio State Buck. Obviously, they can't put Buckeyes fully because they ran out of space, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But I made the team myself. So I went through and I made I put every single Ohio State player on this team that's in the NFL. There's a ton of NFL players. There's like over 55, 56, maybe even 60 players from the NFL currently in the league right now. So I couldn't obviously fit everybody on the team. I had to cut some people to make the roster work, which is a little annoying. So there are some Buckeyes that are decent in free agency. But that's just, I physically couldn't fit everybody on the team. It just wouldn't work. But we've got some quarterbacks. Now, if I wanted to be real funny, I really debated putting Joe Burrow on this team. Now, obviously, Joe Burrow's an LSU quarterback. He won a national title and a Heisman Trophy with LSU. I understand. But he got his degree from Ohio State, and he was on that team for like 3 seasons as the backup. So I debated it. I didn't do it at the end of the day, obviously, as you can see who our quarterbacks are. But I did debate putting him in there. And I also thought about Kyle McCord, but then I was like, Kyle McCord, get out of here. Gomer Pyle, it's trash. So I ended up going with C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields, and what's his face? Why am I blanking on his name? Will Howard. There he is. I couldn't think of his name. He's on the practice squad, but I did put him on here, national champion winning quarterback. Out of all the quarterbacks that Ohio State has had over the years since their last national championship in 2014, to have Will Howard be the one to win a national championship is kind of crazy, because those offenses that C.J. Stroud and Justin Fields had, man, they were so good, but the defenses were so bad. Oh, God. It's unfortunate. It's sad to see that both of these guys didn't win a national championship, because they had teams that very easily could have, especially Justin Fields. He had some crazy teams. And I think he was even he was the quarterback of that 2020 team that played Alabama. So the defense was just so bad in those times. But we've got a ton of Buckeyes, obviously. We got a lot of the good ones, a lot of the young ones. But this is also a very telling little snapshot of which positions the Buckeyes don't really put in the NFL very often. Like tight end is not a big position that gets put in the NFL. Maybe that'll change this year with Max Clare, but tight end is not a historically good position for the Buckeyes, but that's not really how their offense works. Their offense works through running back, quarterback, wide receiver combinations, not really tight end. It's kind of an afterthought. Tight ends under the Urban Meyer system was more of a blocking tight end. They also don't put a lot of linebackers in the league, which is not, it's actually kind of surprising. But all their linebackers came in the earlier days, like James Ornitis, A.J. Hawk, all those kind of guys. They came earlier, and now obviously they're out of the league. And now we've got the next generation of guys who I do like. Jerome Baker's a great player. He was a great Buckeye. Raekwon McMillan was a great Buckeye. Cody Simon's a rookie, so we'll see what he does. P. Warner's been a great Buckeye, or a great NFL player. He's a great Buckeye, too. The defensive line's where the Buckeyes really, it's corner, it's defensive line, and it's wide receiver is where the Buckeyes really shine. And running back, too, obviously. So you got Nick Bosa, you got Joey Bosa, Chase Young, the Predator. You've got Cam Hayward, Big John Hankins, Devon Hamilton, Tyleek Williams, Mike Hall Jr., Baron Browning, corner, Marshawn Lattimore, and Denzel Ward, obviously. You got Burnt Toast, Eli Apple, Jeff Okuda, Denzel Burke. I love Denzel Burke, but he ruined in his own draft stock by that first Oregon game. Yikes. He wasn't great. You got the hooker, Malik Hooker. You got Jordan Fuller and Von Bell. Good defense. Will this team win a Super Bowl? I have no idea. Great offensive line. Paris Johnson's young. We've got Donovan Jackson and Josh Simmons, who just got drafted as well. So some good players. Good offensive line. Obviously, fantastic wide receiver room. Terry McLaurin, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Curtis Samuel, Maserati Marv. I mean, wide receiver university, very clearly. It's not even just position university. It's NFL university. That's what it is. It's not just wide receiver university, DB university, quarterbacking. No, it's NFL university. All these other schools can claim, oh, we're wide receiver. LSU can claim wide receiver university. Whoever wants to claim quarterback university or DB. Ohio State is NFL university. That's what we are. So this is what the team looks like. Can this team win a Super Bowl? We'll show we'll jump into this first game here just so you can see the jersey combinations. I don't have a kicker. I was trying to get away with not having a kicker because surprisingly the Buckeyes have not put a kicker in the league. At least not a good kicker in a while. So there's actually no kicker from Ohio State in the game. So I'm gonna have to just pick one. It's not gonna end up mattering. So we'll just grab Jude from Rutgers. He's from the Big Ten, so it works. We'll sign him just so we can jump in and play a game, but it's not gonna end up mattering. But I just want to show you guys the jerseys because they're not like overly perfect. What's this? Oh, because I have to cut a guy. You gotta be kidding me, man. All these restrictions and rules and stuff. You gotta be this is out of control. All right, Pat Elflein's our long snapper. We got to keep him on there. I had to turn him into a long snapper because the Buckeyes haven't put a long snapper in the league. Who do I want to move here? We probably have to put Whippler on the practice squad. Right? No, there's only 2 centers there, but there's no injuries on, so I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just do that. Whippler's going to go to the practice squad. Do I have a space? I do have a space. Okay, perfect. Now we can jump in. We're not going to play the game. I just want to show you guys the jerseys. So let's show the uniforms. These are the home uniforms. They look pretty good. Even the person that created the team, created the jerseys, even put a Buckeye sticker on there. So that's pretty awesome. But the home uniforms look pretty good, and this is why I chose them, because they look as close as they're going to be. They look the best out of the bunch that I chose from, that I sampled. But this is what I was talking about, where they don't look amazing. The away uniforms, I mean, they look nice. They're just not what the away uniforms are for the Buckeyes. They don't have the gray helmet. It's the regular silver bullet helmet for the home and away. They don't change the helmet for the aways. And then I think they have the gray pants for away. Or do they have the gray pants for? I think they have the gray pants for the aways. So this isn't like a lore accurate for the away jerseys, but it was better than what we had with any of the other options. And then you've obviously got the bowling ball helmets. You got the black, which is pretty sick. I do like the black uniforms in real life. You got the gray, which I think they wore last season. I think the number's off. I don't think that the number is as gray or as black as that is. I think it was a little bit more shaded, like a little bit more closer to the jersey color, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I think they only wore them once. And then for some reason they chose another gray. These are probably more what they wore because they have the scarlet outline and everything. I think these are more what they wore. I don't know why they chose to make two gray uniforms and not do like the all white, the icy whites, which I personally am a big fan of. But this was the best combination of jerseys that I could find in the team builder. So if I was gonna make it myself, I would do it differently. But I'm not that talented at making jerseys, so I didn't do it myself, obviously. But that's the jersey. We're not gonna jump into the game. I just want to show you the jerseys. So we're gonna simulate this season, and I'm very curious, very curious to see if this team can even make the playoffs because they're a good team, very good team. I tried to get the numbers as accurate as possible as well. The problem with doing that in the NFL is a lot of guys wore similar numbers to guys on defense, and you can't do that in the NFL. Only one number per team. So let's say J.K. Dobbins wore number 2, which he did in college. So did Chase Young. You can't do that in the NFL. Only one person can wear number 2. So I tried to get it as close as possible. Not everybody wears the same number they wore in college. But I got as many as accurate as I could. Obviously, C.J. Stroud wearing number 7. I think Justin Fields is wearing number 1. Marv is wearing number 18. He should be at least. Is he wearing number 18? I think I got to him. Yeah, he's wearing number 18. So I try to get it. I mean, they look pretty good. The jerseys look pretty good. At least the home jerseys do. I don't like the aways that much because they don't look anything like the away jerseys, especially with the helmet. But I do like the home jerseys. They look pretty good. So we're going to simulate the first season. See if this Buckeye team can do anything. Did I change the schemes? I did put Ryan Day as the head coach, though. I thought that'd be pretty fun. So let me take a look at the schemes. Did I change the schemes? We are rocking with Cincinnati offense and Cleveland defense. I didn't really know what playbooks to run because it's a college team. So I just kind of went with the Bengals because I thought maybe C.J. Stroud would work well in the Bengal playbook. So we're going to find out. We're going to simulate the first season and see what happens with this Ohio State team. Like I said in the intro, if you want to see me do any other teams, I found a bunch of college teams in the team builder. LSU, Clemson, Alabama, Florida State. Did I do North Carolina? I can't remember. Basically, any big team that you can think of was in the team builder, so I downloaded them. So if you want to see me put together a roster of all the college players that went to that school and that are currently in the NFL, put them all on the college team in the NFL in Madden, let me know down below in the comments. But let's simulate the first season. See if this Buckeye team can do anything. I think in the Bengal playbook, they're going to play better than they should. I don't know. There's a few holes because the guys are low overall. But maybe they can make the playoffs. Let's find out. All right, so year one's done, and the Buckeyes go 10-7, which is honestly better than I thought that they would do. I didn't think that even in the Bengal playbook, I didn't think that the Buckeyes would do amazingly because that defense isn't like overly amazing, but I mean, 10-7 is good. They make the playoffs, right? They made the playoffs. C.J. Stroud puts up 5,500 yards. Wow. The Cincinnati playbook goes crazy. JSN puts up 1,600 yards in the NFL, or in the wide receiver room, I should say. 5,500 yards and 42 touchdowns, a 71% completion percentage. Yeah, these are college football numbers for C.J. Stroud. These are insane numbers. Good for him. Good for him. And then running, the Bengal playbook obviously doesn't do a lot of yards. It does shark a lot of touchdowns. 16 touchdowns for J.K. Dobbins at running back. 3 1,000-yard receivers. Jackson Smith and Jigba puts up 1,600 with 20 touchdowns. I hope that's Offensive Player of the Year. 1,500 for T-Mac and 8 touchdowns. Chris Olave, CO2, earns 1,200 yards with 7 touchdowns. Jeremy Rucker put up 3 touchdowns, 600 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't get a single touch because he was down on the depth chart. What about defensively? We had 117 tackles from Jerome Baker, 110 from Pete Werner, 98 from Jordan Fuller. Tackle for loss leader was Nick Bosa. Cameron Hayward had 14. Joey Bosa 12. Warner had 11. And then the sack leader was Cam Hayward with 14.5. So the old man still getting it done, still productive. And then 8.5 each for the Bosa brothers. All right, kind of cool. 4 for Big John. Interception numbers, Jerome Baker had 3. Marshall Lattimore had 3. Warner and Ward had 2. Fuller had 1. So the Browns playbook does pretty well for interceptions, it looks like. But I chose both the Ohio teams' playbooks just because I thought we're the Buckeyes, why not? But we do make the playoffs. Wild card against the Chiefs. Can the Buckeyes in the NFL take down the Kansas City Chiefs in the wild card round? No, lost 31-20. Not surprising. Oh, and I did want to mention, I do have the salary cap off for this video because this team is supposed to stay together. So I don't want contract negotiations to ruin any of this team. So we're going to keep the team as together as possible so that obviously we can see the true example of can the Ohio State Buckeyes that are in the NFL. By the way, the face scan players look unbelievably good in the jersey. Like Jack Smith-Njigba looks really good in that jersey. It's the Niners and the Chiefs. Tell me if you've seen this before. But yeah, that's why the salary cap is off, because I want to keep this team together so that we can see if they can win a Super Bowl. That's the whole point of the video, so that's why it's off. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Is it going to be the Niners or the Chiefs? It is the Niners who get it done. Okay, Brock Purdy. That's real Purdy, ain't it? That's real Purdy. He gets it done. Good for him. Season recap. Show me MVP. You gotta be jerking me off right now. How did Patrick Mahomes win the MVP? We didn't even win Offensive Player of the Year. Puka Nacua won Offensive Player of the Year. We didn't get a single award. What is this? What is this Mahomes sucking off biasy? What could he have possibly done that was better than what CJ did? 5,500 yards and 42 touchdowns. You're telling me Mahomes had a better season? He had 1,100 yards worse, but he had 3 more touchdowns and to 4 interceptions. That's what you're going to give? That's unbelievable. I can't believe you just gave Mahomes a pity MVP. 45 touchdowns to 42. But it's such a big difference in yards. We had 5,500. He has 4,400. We had 1,100 more yards than he did. And they don't give me the MVP. What do I have to do to win an MVP in this game? My God. What about Rams and Puka? Did he do better than what? Okay, all right. 1,500 yards and 23 touchdowns. That's, yeah, okay. I'll give Puka the Offensive Player of the Year, because that is a better season. He has more touchdowns. 1642. What was 1642 for Jackson? So touchdowns are valued that much? Touchdowns are valued that much? He had 3 more touchdowns than I did, and he gets the Offensive Player of the Year because of it? CJ Stroud broke the passing yards record. He doesn't win the freaking MVP because of it? What is this game? CJ Stroud breaks the passing yards record in a single season held by, I think, Peyton Manning. I'm pretty sure. He doesn't win the MVP because he had 42 touchdowns and Mahomes had 45. Yeah, he threw 11 picks. You can't give the MVP to Patrick Mahomes. This is an unbelievable thing that just happened. It's an unbelievable. I can't. I'm shocked. I'm stunned. I almost want to stop the recording. I can't believe they gave the MVP to Patrick Mahomes. What? How did Patrick? Oh, by the way, we replaced the Cleveland Browns, if you're wondering. How did they give the freaking MVP to Patrick Mahomes? I'm never going to get over this. This is unacceptable. I'm not just making it up. It's unacceptable. You can't give the MVP to Patrick Mahomes. The menus are so laggy. I can't believe that. Actually insane. Actually insane. So I'm just going to go through really quickly and re-sign all of these guys. They're all going to come back because, obviously, they're all Buckeyes. So I'm going to do this real quick, and then we will probably go to the draft. I'll try to draft all Buckeye players, I guess. All right, so I got done re-signing all the Buckeyes, so we have the team back. Nobody's leaving us. I do want to take a look at depth trades, because when I was re-signing, I saw that Ronnie Hickman went up to star. So CJ Stroud, on his improbable not MVP season, gets X Factor. Shocker, he should have won the MVP. But everybody else, it seems Stays the same. Did Olave have superstar? Why do I feel like he had star? I don't know, but I feel like he's up to superstar. I don't know. Defense, Ronnie Hickman does go up to star, which is kind of cool. P. Warner goes up to star. He had normal. Williams is revealed to have star dev. Big John Hankins retires. I just noticed that. Who else has changed? Anybody change? I think everybody else is the same. That's okay. But Ronnie Hickman going up is pretty cool. And C.J. Stroud obviously going up is pretty cool. Doesn't win the MVP, but he goes up. And I'm not going to sign any free agents because I don't think there's any free agents that are from Ohio State. And there might be. There might be some free agents that are from Ohio State, but it's not like we need any. We have pretty much everybody that we can keep on this team anyway, so it's not like we need to grab any more. The reason I cut those guys in the first place is because they were lower overalls anyway. So let's just move on to the draft. And I guess I'll draft all Ohio State players to kind of keep with the theme. But they're probably not going to play unless they're unbelievably good, I guess. Maybe we can find a crazy good tight end or something. Or maybe we should go to Kansas City Playbook and get Jeremy Ruckert really good. Let's start the draft and look for Ohio State players. All right. And of course, the board's not there. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to say the board's not there because because the game sucks. We have 2 first-round picks because we are Cleveland, so we have Jacksonville's pick as well. So let's take some Buckeyes. I don't care how good they are, what their rank is. As long as they went to Ohio State, we can grab them. So first player that I see from Ohio State, I will grab it. It's this guy right here. It's Carnell Tate. Oh, that's right, because I loaded in a real-life draft class. I forgot about that. Well, you know what? Let's take Carnell Tate in the first round. I forgot that I loaded in a real-life draft class. There's Caleb Downs. You know what? We'll take Carnell Tate and then Caleb Downs. Welcome aboard, Carnell. Number 39 true value. He is a Buckeye again. I forgot that I did that. That's kind of cool, actually. Good job, Pass Juice. Did any other Buckeyes get taken? Arch Manning goes number 1 overall. Yeah, okay. You see that game he played against the Buckeyes? Yeah, he's not going number 1 overall. I don't see any Buckeye. Oh, Max Clare. Max Clare goes 16 to the Dolphins. So that is a Buckeye that got taken that I didn't grab. He went number 16? Wow, okay. I probably would have taken him. And if you're wondering why there's a bunch of hashtags, or I guess if you're old school, a bunch of pound signs for somebody's name, it means that EA Sports thinks that it's an inappropriate name, even though this man's name is Nick, but it's spelled N-Y-C-K. So I guess that's inappropriate for EA Sports. I don't know why they think it's inappropriate. This guy's name is, Jake. Oh, what's this guy's name? I can see it. Oh, it's Jake Slaughter. That's right. It's Jake Slaughter. That one I can understand for to be able to be put in the game. But you can't put Nick in the game because his name is N-Y-C-K. I don't know. But that's why you see those canceled out names, I guess. If you were wondering, you probably already knew, but I just thought in case somebody didn't know. So let's take Caleb Downs, even though I think Caleb Downs is going to be a top 5 pick in the draft in real life. We'll take Caleb Downs, and he is a Buckeye still. I wish I would have got Max Clare. That would have been cool. We need a tight end. Let's get to the next round and see if there's any more Buckeyes. I'm kind of happy that I put it. Jeremiah Love got taken 47. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I'm kind of happy that I put in a real life draft class. Now that makes me happy. All right, let's keep scrolling here until we find another Buckeye. Who else is in this class from Ohio State? A lot of cheater teams. Oh, you got Mitch Herbert. I don't think that's a real person. The name doesn't sound familiar. Who else do we got here? Nobody in the all positions. What about running backs? We got the transfer from West Virginia. I'm still learning his name because he's a transfer. What's this guy? This is Tim Betts. He's not. No, I don't want Tim Betts. What about another wide receiver? There's got to be another one, right? What about Brandon Inniss? Is Brandon Inniss in this draft class? You're going to disrespect Brandon Inniss like that? Oh, that's cold. All right, whatever. Or maybe he got drafted. I don't know. There's probably not another tight end. Brandon Farroney? I don't think he's real. That name also doesn't sound familiar. I'm not seeing a bunch of Buckeyes. Nick Chambers. I'm not seeing many Buckeyes in this draft class. I took the top 2. There's that Hebert guy. Herbert? Where are all the Buckeyes at? I'm seeing a lot of Notre Dame, a lot of Oregon, a lot of LSU, but no Ohio State University. This is kind of crazy. This feels illegal. There should be plentiful Buckeyes, but I'm not seeing any of them. It's kind of crazy. You know what? Let's just skip ahead, and then I will cut the guys that aren't Ohio State Buckeyes. We drafted Cardell Tate and Caleb Downs, which is pretty cool. And then maybe next year we can get Jeremiah Smith. That'd be pretty sick as well. Jeremiah Smith's a dog. All right. Draft recap. How good is Cardell Tate and Caleb Downs? They're 74 and 73. That feels illegal. They should be a lot higher than that. Eli Stowers, whoever the jabroni is, he's getting cut. Dom Pearson from Florida State, Flowrider State. He's cut. Sorry, big dog. You don't get to play for us. What about this dude? Cam Newberry from USC. Yeah, get out of here. Fake Big Ten team. What about Lorenzo Taylor? No. Trash. From Western Directional Michigan? Yeah, no, I don't think so. You're out of here. Bradley Durant from the scrub Notre Dame school. Bye-bye. Can't beat the Buckeyes in the championship game. And then UL Monroe. Yeah. Be real. So the only two draft picks we made are Carnell Tate and Caleb Downs. Leb Daddy. We'll move to season number 2. Maybe CJ Stroud will actually not get robbed of his MVP this year. But this is what the team's going to look like. Let's get the generate best lineup thing going so we can see the official team. Generate it. What do we got? Offensive line's looking good. Rucker goes up to a 71. Wide receiver room's looking sick. JSN's up to a 91. Running backs are looking good. Travion might pass JK in a year or two. We're actually going to have Ronnie Hickman start at free safety just because he has the dev trait. Then we have good corners. We have good D-line. Good enough linebackers. Yeah, let's go win a championship. Let's go win a championship. I'm going to simulate year number 2, and I'll catch back up with you guys when season 2's over. Okay, so year 2's done, and we actually had a pretty bad year, 7 and 10. This is more what I thought we'd do in year number 1, but I mean, the team's growing with overalls and stuff, and we still went with 7 wins. Kind of crazy. CJ Stroud puts up crazy numbers like he always does in the playbook. 5,100 yards, 44 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I hope that this year he gets his MVP. Even if it is an apology MVP, it's a we're sorry we shouldn't have gave it to Patrick Mahomes last year MVP. It's a makeup. I'll still take it. Running numbers, J.K. Dobbins did good. 14 touchdowns on the ground. 3 1,000-yard receivers, including Jackson Smith and Jigba with 1,620 touchdowns. McLaurin had 1,500. Crazy from Terry. Scary Terry goes crazy. And then CO2 puts up 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns. Just absolutely insane passing numbers, as you would expect, or receiving numbers, I guess. Defensively, we had P. Warner with 123 tackles. The Rocket, Ronnie Hickman, with 88 tackles. Tackle for loss leader was Nick Bosa with 16. Tyleik Williams had 11. Mike Hall Jr. 11 as well. Sack leader is Bosa, 13.5. Williams had 6.5. So did Joey Bosa. Mike Hall had 50. Denzel Ward with 6 picks. And then Lattimore had 5. So that's a crazy amount of picks there. 2 for Okudah and Warner, and then 1 for Hickman and Bell. Pretty crazy numbers. I better see CJ Stroud hold that MVP. You better give him that MVP. If he doesn't win that MVP, I'm going to flip out. He had the most touchdowns. He had the most yards. What else is there need to be? What else is there? The receiving core is going crazy. It's the Ravens and the Vikings. Battle of the different shades of purple. Prince would love this game. Who's going to win it, though? I'm going to say Ravens. I don't believe in the cheater at quarterback for the Vikings. And it is the Baltimore Ravens. I was proven right. Lamar Jackson gets a championship. Congratulations to him. Congratulations. Congratulations. You gotta be kidding me! I'm gonna pull my skin off. You gave back-to-back MVPs to this jabroni, this fraud, Patrick Mahomes. Jackson Smith and Jigba wins Offensive Player of the Year, by the way, which feels like a makeup. You better have told me that Patrick Mahomes put up 9,000 passing yards. What did this fraud do? 4,100 yards, 43 touchdowns to just one interception with a 74% completion percentage, and you think that's better than my guy, CJ Stroud, who eclipsed 5,000? What is it, because he had one interception in the year? He threw 4,100 yards! This is insane. This is mutiny. You keep giving this MVP to a man who doesn't deserve it. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. What do I have to do to win the MVP? What do I have to do? He threw over 5,000 yards. He threw 43 touchdowns with under 10 interceptions, and they still gave it to Patrick Mahomes. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I've actually never seen anything like it before. It's crazy. I'm going to go and do the same thing I did last year. I'm going to re-sign these guys. But at this point, I might only do one more year because I'm sick and tired. You got to be kidding me, CJ. Or Chris Olave. What are we talking about here? You're getting the franchise tag. But I'm going to go and re-sign all these guys. And I'll be back when we're ready for the draft. So, yeah, I can't. At this point, somebody stab Patrick Mahomes with a butter knife because what's going on right now? All right, I got all the signings done except for Cameron Johnston. The 35-year-old punter declined my offer. I gave him a 7-year deal, almost $3 million, and he said, no thanks, I'm going to test free agency. I don't know who he thinks he is. He's not testing free agency. He might think that he is. But look at this. He's all the way down the board here. He's trash. Why would he think that he's ever going to leave me? I gave him like $2.8 million. He said no. Whatever. Actually, whatever. So we'll get him back very easily. Let's take a look at what the depth trades possibly look like here. Do we get any upgrades? X Factor for JSN. Pretty sick. Abuka is also growing pretty well. Nice. Love to see it. There's just so much talent at wide receiver. It's hard to get these guys developed. Like Marvin Harrison and Abuka are two of the best, but they don't have any room. There's no room to grow. Offensive line's looking good. Everybody's developing. And then on defense, we switched the scheme. Ronnie Hickman's a superstar. He's developing like crazy. I wish he could do that in my Browns franchise. That'd be really good. He's going nuclear. We did switch the defensive scheme to a 3-4 instead of a 4-3 because that fit the scheme a little bit better. The percentage was a lot better, so we went with that. But I think we're going to give this one more season because I don't know if it's actually going to work in the game of Madden. I'm trying my best. But at the end of the day, it's all up to simulation. And I don't know if the simulation is going to be kind to us. I mean, I even have the goated Bengal playbook. I'm using that, and it's still not working. So we're going to go one more season, see if this actually can happen. If it can't, it's going to be a little annoying, but it is what it is. I did load in the 2027 draft just for the fun. I thought it'd be cool to have the 2027 draft in here because that's Jeremiah Smith's draft. We do pick at number 9. Jeremiah Smith is projected. Where is he at? My guy is all the way down at number 11? He's the number 1 player in the class. What are you talking about? There's Julian Sayin as well. Well, let's see if Jeremiah gets there. I mean, we don't need a wide receiver. We clearly don't need a wide. Ryan Williams goes number 1 overall. Yeah, okay. Jeremiah Smith's going to go number 1 overall. What are you talking about? Dylan Raiola goes to the Texans. They don't have CJ Stroud, so they need a quarterback, obviously. The Dolphins take Dylan Stewart from South Kakalaki. The Gamecocks. Colin Simmons, also a South Carolina Gamecock. I know he's Texas in real life, but he's in our dynasty. He's a South Carolina Gamecock. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Go Cox. Josiah Thompson goes off the board at 5 to Chicago. Then you got Jordan Seaton, also a South Carolina Gamecock in our dynasty. Go Cox, baby. No, Jeremiah got taken by the Jets. He was predicted to go 11. Or that's where he was ranked at. All right, so we don't get JJ. Who's here? I mean, we could take Julian Sayin, but he's not. He's a quarterback, and I don't want to take a quarterback when we don't need one. CJ Leonard is Ohio State. Jelani Thurman. Do I take Jelani Thurman in the first round? Garrett Stover. You know what? I'm gonna take Jelani Thurman just for the memes. and then I'll simulate the rest of the pick. I'm not going to cut the guys this time because we're only going to go one more year, so it's not a big deal. We needed a tight end anyway, so Jelani Thurman, welcome aboard. Sucks that I didn't get Jeremiah Smith. Maybe I can trade all my draft picks for him or something. That might be pretty fun. I might trade all my draft picks for him. We'll see who else they draft. If there's anybody like that could start, like threaten to start, then I'll cut them. But I don't think there's going to be anybody. But we'll see what happens. Draft recap. Who did the CPU take? So Jelani Thurman, ends up being a 78 overall. This guy will probably cut because he could actually get some play time. So we'll cut him. We'll cut this safety. I don't think he's going to start, but just in case. Or not start, but he could get some play time. He could get on the field. And the rest of the guys are absolute trash, except for this guard, Eric Weatherford. So he's going to get cut as well. And then the rest will just be on the team. I'm not going to cut them, unless I cut them in preseason, I guess. Let me go talk to the Jets. I will give them everything I have. I'll give them 3 first-round picks if I can get Jeremiah Smith. Not for playing, because he's not going to start. We have so many wide receivers ahead of him that are higher overall. I just want him on the team for the purposes of the video. So let's go talk to the Jets. I will give them everything I have. 83 overall for Jeremiah. Little low. You can have my first-round pick this year. You have my first-round pick next year. You got my first-round pick the year after. That still isn't getting it done. You can have my second-round pick this year and my second-round pick next year. Done. Okay, we have Jeremiah Smith now. Just for the fun of it. Doesn't really matter because he's not going to play. I just, you can't have a Buckeye team without Jeremiah Smith, so I had to have him on the team. And now we do. So we'll generate the best lineup for season number 3. Jelani Thurman will start at tight end over Jeremy Ruckert. Offensive line looks good. Wide receivers look amazing. Quarterback looks good. Running backs look good. And defense looks good. Is this team going to make a playoff push? I would think so. I mean, we should be good enough to make a playoff push. I guess we'll find out. We're going to simulate season number 3, the final season of the video, and see if this Buckeye team can actually win a championship. The final year is in the books, and we rallied back 12-5 and back in the playoffs. That's good to see because I'm hoping we can win a championship in this final year. Let's see what happens here. CJ Stroud puts up his best statistical numbers so far. 5,600 yards. 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a 75% completion percentage. He won't win MVP with those numbers, though, because this game sucks. Rushing-wise, J.K. Dobbins had a great season on the ground. 2,000 yards for Jackson Smith and Jigba and 25 touchdowns. So he's going to win Offensive Player. He might win MVP. Those are unbelievable numbers for Jackson Smith and Jigba. I've never seen anybody in the Bengal playbook so far in Madden 26 get over 2,000 yards. Now I have. JSN, 25 touchdowns, 2,000 yards is absolutely crazy. And McLaurin didn't do too bad either, 1,300. Olave had 1,000. Thurman had 668. Man, actually insane. Defensively, Warner led the team in tackles again, no surprise. Tackle for loss leaders Bosa and Bosa. Sack leader is this time Joey Bosa with 16.5, even in his advanced age. Tyleek had 10.5. Nick Bosa had 8.5. 3 interceptions for Denzel Ward, 1 for a bunch of other guys. Is that the new NFL record for receiving yards? It is. And for touchdowns. So we have 3 records. And only 1 offensive player of the year to show for. Well, I don't know if we're going to win offensive player this year. We might. We should. Can we get out of the wild card round? We lost in year number 1 in the wild card. Can we get out of the wild card this round? It is against my favorite team, the New England Patriots. So it does kind of hurt me to have to beat them. But we do. 33-17, we beat New England. But now we have to take on the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't usually jump into games in the divisional round. Usually I wait till the AFC or NFC championship games. But we could lose this game, and I want to jump in and see these jerseys actually on the field. So we are going to jump in against Baltimore and see if we can get the W. The Buckeyes travel to Baltimore, Maryland to take on the Ravens in the AFC divisional round. It'd be pretty sick if we win this game. I don't know if we will. I doubt it. But I just wanted to jump in because if this is the last chance that I have to jump in, I wanted to see these jerseys on the field and see how they look. It is tied 7-7. Maybe CJ Stroud's got some magic in that arm of his. I mean, we lead 10-7 now in the fourth quarter. Another field goal. I think we might have missed it. I'm not sure what happened there. I wanted to jump in right there. What happened? I guess we gave the ball up. It's 43 seconds left. We got to drive the field. We need a touchdown. This isn't what I was hoping would happen. I thought I tried to jump in there, but then they gave the ball back to the Ravens. I'm not sure if I missed an opportunity or something. I don't know. But JK, gotta go. We don't have a lot of time. Ooh, I like JSN up the seam here. I mean, he had 2,000 yards for a reason, but I don't like him, actually. That's wide open until it wasn't. How is the... I don't like Chris Olave wearing number 16, but I had to give it to him because he couldn't wear number 2. Ooh, Trayvion's in the game now. I also couldn't give him his number. Oh, Trayvion. We'll call a timeout here. All we need to do is score a touchdown. It's not like we need to score 2 touchdowns. We just need to score a touchdown. I believe in the magic of CJ Stroud off the hands of JSN. Off the hand, I guess. That would have been pretty awesome if he would have been able to make that. 18 seconds left. Come on, CJ. You can do it. There's not anybody open, is there? Got to go down to Judkins. I wasted a lot of time there trying to find somebody open. Nobody. I mean, the Ravens were covering everything. The Ravens were covering absolutely everything. 1 timeout remaining, 11 seconds. We got to push the ball down the field, but I don't think I can. And that was not the right decision. I thought I was going to be able to get out of bounds there. That's why I threw that. I chucked that underneath to try to get out of bounds, but he covered me pretty well. 6 seconds. There's a slight possibility we could have 2 plays here, but I doubt it. It's probably just 1 play. It's just a chuck and pray. Oh, the chuck and pray might work! Terry almost had it, and we will lose. You know what? That's okay. We don't end up winning the Super Bowl in 3 seasons with the Buckeyes. Maybe it could happen, but the sim is just not very friendly with this team, apparently. I don't know why we did so bad in year number 2, but then came back in year number 1 and played well. It's weird, the sim. Do I think this team could win a championship in the future? Maybe if we gave it a couple of more seasons of sim. Maybe we could do it, but I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be the same thing over and over again. It's just going to be the same, like, 10 to 13 win seasons, and then we lose in the AFC championship or something. There's probably not going to be any success. We did get to see our first 2,000-yard receiver, though, of Madden 26 with JSN, who achieves true 99 overall, which is pretty awesome. Good for him. And the Buckeyes are a fun team, man. They got a lot of good players in the NFL. If this happened in real life, where all of the players that played for Ohio State that are in the NFL right now all came together and played on one team, I think they probably would go pretty far. They would probably make it to an AFC championship, NFC championship / Super Bowl. I do believe that. They didn't even give me the MVP, man. We got Coach of the Year, and we got Offensive Player of the Year with JSN. I would have hoped so, as the Ravens win the Super Bowl. I mean, he had 2,000 yards. If he didn't give him the Offensive Player of the Year, I would have been just beside myself. But do I think this team could win a Super Bowl in real life? Probably. There's enough offensive talent on this roster. You have Josh Simmons and Paris Johnson Jr. on the tackle spots. You got Donovan Jackson and Jonah Jackson on the middle. Center is a little questionable, but they're good enough. You got some tight end talent. You obviously got the receiving talent and the running back talent and the quarterback talent. And then on defense, the defense is a little bit questionable at some parts, but for the most part, if you draft Caleb Downs and you draft Jeremiah Smith, I do think that this team could win a Super Bowl in real life. I do believe that. I mean, they got a bunch of good players, so we couldn't get it done in the game of Madden, but that might just be Madden's fault. I'm not gonna fault the team because it could just be Madden being a bad game. But that is what would happen, at least in the game of Madden, if the entire Ohio State roster that's in the NFL teamed up on one team and tried to win the Super Bowl. They couldn't do it in 3 seasons. Maybe they could do it in 4 or 5, but we're not going to find out, at least in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Remember to leave your comments down below for any other team you want to see me do. Maybe put all of Alabama's players on one team, and maybe put all of Clemson's or Texas or LSU, whatever it may be, whatever team you think would be fun to see. Leave that down below in the comments, and I'll see if there's a team builder team of that college, and we can do this video for another team. Obviously, the first one had to be the Buckeyes because they're my favorite college. So if you enjoyed, leave it a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.